In this video, you're going to learn exactly when you should use the, when you should use a, and when you shouldn't use any articles at all. Recently, I've been getting this question a lot from students. They've been really confused about when they should use the definite article, when they should use the indefinite article, even though they know in theory that whenever we talk about something specific, we should use the. And when we're not talking about something specific, we should just use a or an, right? But in practice, it's actually a lot harder to apply it, right? So let's look at an example. This is a sentence that one of my students just used recently when he was talking about booking a dinner table for a business meeting at a restaurant. So he said, I was wondering if I could get a table at a side opposite a window, right? Now, this sentence in itself inherently isn't wrong grammatically. It's not incorrect. The very same way that saying this is a cat when in fact it's a dog would not be grammatically incorrect, but it would be contextually wrong. It would be incorrect. So in business, it's very important to articulate your thoughts clearly and say exactly what your vision is, what you're trying to say accurately, convey that, and it should be contextually correct. The meaning should be correct. It's not just about being correct grammatically. So we could say this sentence in another way. We could say, I was wondering if I could get the table at the side opposite the window, right? And this is also grammatically correct, but both of these sentences have two different meanings. And this is where today's video comes in, because today you'll know exactly in which situation you should be using the first sentence and in which situation you should be using the second one. Okay, so I'm going to start by explaining this concept through the use of something called a set. In mathematics, we call this a set. A set is just a group of objects or items, right? And I'm going to be using the set to help showcase how we can determine whether something should be using a definite article, indefinite article, or shouldn't be using any articles at all. So let's introduce some rules. So the first rule is whenever we talk about all of the set or everything, that's what I mean by all. So when we talk about everything inside the set, we use the, right? And I'll show you an example. Suppose I bring a bag of apples to lunch, right? And suppose I have 20 apples in this bag. So now the set consists of 20 apples, right? And if somebody, one of my colleagues, one of my co-workers wants all of the apples that I've brought for lunch, he's going to say what? What is he going to say? So if you guessed, I would like the apples, please, then you are correct, because this means he wants all the apples in the set. And the set is which I brought for lunch, right? Now, this is also true when the set is just one, right? So if we narrow the set to one, now suppose out of these 20 apples, 19 of them are green, but only one of them is red, right? So now the new set is one red apple. So we created a new set. We narrowed the set. So when we're talking about the one red, we're not talking about the 19 green apples. We're just talking about the one red apple. So if that's the one he wants and he doesn't want all the green apples, we don't care about the green apple. We're not going to refer to them. We're still going to say he wants the entire set of red apples. So he's going to say, I would, sorry, I forgot to put like, I would like the red apple, please. Why did he use the red apple? Because he wants all of the set. There's one red apple. He wants that one red apple. He wants all of it, right? Okay, so far we're very clear that whenever we want everything in the set, whether the set consists of one item and we want that one item, or whether the set consists of multiple items and we want all of them, in both of these cases, we use the. Now, let's look at a second example. Now, in this example, let's say I have 20 apples in this set, and he just wants one. He just wants one apple from the 20, right? We're not even talking about colors here. This is when you use the indefinite article. This is when we use a or an. So he's going to say, I would like an apple, please. Because he doesn't want the entire set of 20 apples. He just wants one apple from the set. Right. We could modify the set. So suppose there are 19 green apples. Okay, actually, let's look at that example. So suppose what would happen if the 19 green apples were here? And we already know if he wants the red apple, we're narrowing the set down to one, just the one red apple by using a modifier, which is the red apple. So he would say, I would like the red apple, please. Right. This is how you would use a modifier, the red apple. Red apple is the modifier. We use that to narrow the set down to just one, and he wants everything in that set. But let's presume for a minute that he doesn't want the red one. He wants a green apple, right? So there are 19 green apples, but he just wants one green apple. That's it. That's it. He just wants one green apple. What is he going to use? In this case, I would like an apple again. So he's still going to use I would like an apple, please, because he doesn't want the entire set of 19 green apples or 20 apples that I brought for lunch. He only wants one apple, right? What would happen if he wants two? Suppose he wants two. Now we can't use an or a. We can't use the indefinite article because that's only used for one item. Does he want the entire set? Does he want all of them? No, he doesn't. So we're just not going to use any article. That's it. I would like apples, please. He doesn't specify how many, but we know he doesn't want one. And we also know he doesn't want all of them. That's the only information we know, right? And then just to hit home that point of what would happen if you want the entire set again, if he wants all 19 apples, if he wants all 19 apples, what's he going to say? I would like the green apples, please. So we can use the for plural, right? We can use that for plural because he wants, we've narrowed the set down using the modifier green apples. So 19 apples in this set, and he wants all of them. So he's saying, I would like the green apples, please. Right? There we go. Now, let's bring this information back to our example. But first, let's recap what we said. We said if you're talking about one object or one item from inside a set, we use a or an, right? Unless the entire set is just one apple, right? Or one object, one item. In that case, you would use the, because whenever you talk about the entire set, everything in the set, whether it's one, whether it's more than one, we use the, right? And if we talk about more than one, if we talk about plural, it's not the entire set, then we just don't use any article at all. We'll just say apples. Now, let's come back to this example of reserving a seat at a restaurant, right? So, this depends on the restaurant, right? It depends on three things. It depends on window, side, and table, because there are three nouns, right? There are three nouns, there are three things in the sentence. So it depends on the set size of each of these things and whether he wants the entire set or not, right? So the first thing we're talking about, let's start with window, right? Okay, so if there's just one window in the entire restaurant, what are we going to say? Let's come up with two scenarios, right? One scenario is one window, and the second scenario is more than one window. Well, if there's just one window, he's going to say the window. And if there's more than one window, he's going to say a window exactly, right? Okay. The next noun was side. Right? So opposite a window, they can only be one side. This is the only side which is opposite the window, right? This entire side is opposite the window. This side is not considered opposite the window. Neither is this side. Neither is this side. Only this side is opposite the window, right? So, of course, if there's one window, we're going to say the side, right? Now, if there were two windows, let's suppose there's a window here as well. There's a window here. So if there's a window here, then this entire side is also opposite a window. Both of these sides are opposite windows, right? See, this is also opposite a window. Now, if that's the case, if there are two windows, then we'll say a side. And the last piece of information. Now, let's suppose these are all tables. There's a bunch of tables in this restaurant. If he wants one table, then it depends on two things. How many tables are in the set? If he wants one table and there is only one table in the set, then of course he's going to say the table, right? Suppose there are no other tables, but we're not talking about this situation here. We don't have any windows here, right? We just have one window. We have one side opposite the window. We have just one table here, right? So now because the set is only one table, he's going to say the window, the table. He's going to say the table. So the sentence is going to become, I would like the table opposite the table at the side opposite the window, right? Now, if there are more than one tables and he only needs one, so he doesn't want the entire set, in that case, if there's, he just wants one table out of more than one. So the set is greater than the selection. In that case, he's going to say a table. That's it. He's going to say, I would like, I'll write it down. I would like a table at the side opposite the window. So we, of course, we're talking about one window, one side, but there are more than one tables. He just wants any of these. But if he's very particular about it, he could narrow the set down to just one using a qualifier. Like this one is more north of this one, for example, right? So on the north side, there's only one table. So he's made the set smaller, and he could now say, I would like the table, because now the set is just one. The table, the north table, the north table at the side opposite the window. All right, there we go. Now let's bring back the scenario of more than one windows, more than one sides, right? Right, there's three tables this side, two tables this side again. If he doesn't care which window, which side, right? He doesn't want the entire set. He's going to say window and a side, right? He doesn't care. He wants this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one, any of them. Just one. He doesn't want all of them. He's going to say, I would like a table at the side opposite a window. At a side opposite a window, because there are two sides. So he doesn't care which one, right? If he wanted all of them, then he would say, I would like the tables, because he wants the entire set. I would like the tables opposite at the sides, because he's talking about both sides, the entire set, both windows, opposite the windows. I would like the tables at the sides, opposite the windows. Let's do a little exercise to make sure that you've understood this concept. Now, imagine that you're going to check in for a flight, and you get to the boarding counter, the check-in counter, and the flight assistant there, you give him your tickets, and he's asking you which seats you want. Suppose you have two tickets, you've got two seats. Are you going to say, and you want window seats? Are you going to say, I want a window seat? Are you going to say, I want the window seats? Or are you going to say, I want window seats? Think about that for a moment. Do you want all the window seats in the plane? Do you want the entire set? No, right? So you're not going to say, I want the window seats. That's for sure. Do you want more than one window seat? Yes, you do. So can you say, I want a window seats? No, you can't. So you have to say, I want window seats. Now, let's make this a little bit more complex. Let's add on top of this a layer. Now, let's say you wanted one window seat, but the other one you didn't care, right? What are you going to say now? Are you going to say, I want a window seat? Are you going to say, I want the window seat? Or are you going to say, I want window seat? Think about it for a moment. Yeah? Yeah. So because you don't want the seats in the plane, just want one, and you don't have any particular preference, you haven't narrowed the set down. There's still 200 odd seats that are, or 100 odd seats that are near windows, right? So the set is still large. You haven't modified it. So you're going to say, I would like a window seat. So the other one, you don't care. That's what how it would be understood, right? Now, what if we narrow this down? What this is a really weird looking wing. Let's narrow this set down. Now let's narrow this down. So there are just two window seats behind the wing, right? Behind the wing, there are two window seats. That's it. So the set now has two window seats. If you want one of them, what are you going to say? That's right. You're still going to say, I want a window seat behind the wing. But if you want both of them, now you're talking about the entire set. So you can say, I want the window seats behind the wing. Behind the wings, actually, because there's two wings. So I want a window seat behind a wing for either of them. Or I want the window seats behind the wings for both of them. Now, in this case, you can't use I want window seats behind wings because we only have two. Right? The only option is either one or all. There is no other option. So I hope this explains this concept really well, because I have tried to explain this in a way that I've never seen this explained anywhere else, right? I've looked at tons of books, I've looked at tons of courses, and I've heard tons of teachers trying to explain this concept, and nobody has ever explained it quite in this way. So for homework, I'd like you to come up with your own sentence, one where you come up with a sentence where you want something in the entire set, but you want the whole set. You narrow down the set and you want all of it, right? And the second sentence, I want you to ask for something that is not the entire set, just one from the full set, or maybe more than one from the full set, right? And also do reply on other people's examples to give them feedback. And I just want to bring this full circle back to the way that this topic is taught. And usually they give you a list of words, nouns, like, for example, the sky is called the sky. The moon, we always use the moon. But some things we only use a. But now you can think about why you should use it that way, why it's called the moon, because we're not talking about all the moons in the universe. We've narrowed the set down, and it's not explicit, it's implicit. We don't need to say it out loud, but everybody understands this, that when we're saying the moon, we're talking about the moon near our planet, the moon, our planet's moon, and there's only one, and we talk about the entire set, so we say the moon, right? When we talk about the stars, we're talking about all the stars in the sky, right? The entire set. And that's exactly why we call them the stars. We don't say stars, right? When we talk about one particular star, one specific star, we would say the North Star, because now we've narrowed down the set to just one star which matches this criteria, which can pass through this filter. There's only one, and that one is the North Star, right? So the North Star is shining bright, the stars are shining bright. But what if not all of them are shining bright? What are you going to say then? Yeah, exactly. You're not going to say the, you'll say some stars are shining bright, or a few stars are shining bright, or a lot of stars are shining bright. But you're not going to say the, a lot of the stars are shining bright. Right? You're not going to do that because you're not referring to the entire set of stars. So if I'm talking about the door, it means there's only one door and it's the one which is nearest to me. Now, there could be three doors in the room, but if I say the door is open, I'm talking about the one which is nearest to me, right? If I don't want to be specific, then I could just say a door is open. This means not all three, not the first of all, the set has more than one. This is what we know. As soon as I use a, we know the set is bigger than one. And a door is open means one of these doors is open. We don't know which one, right? And it's not important which one, but it's important to make sure that none of them are, right? So I hope this lesson was helpful. Please do like the video and share this with everybody so that they could also learn and grow, and also comment and give me feedback on how you think I could make these videos a little bit better and what concept you're struggling with. Maybe you've watched a lot of videos and maybe you've tried to learn this concept, you've read it in books, but you just can't wrap your head around it, and you need someone to explain it to you in a different way, from a different perspective than the usual one, the common one, just like the way I've explained this topic today. Then please let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.